He's excited. He's got a new plan, and this time, he swears it's going to work. So he writes everything down. Wake up early, exercise, read more. It all feels possible tonight. Day 1. He circles the date. He can already picture the person he's about to become. And day 1 goes great. He runs. He feels strong. Motivation is doing all the work. Day 3 is harder. The alarm feels louder, but he still shows up, just a little slower. Day 7, he's on the couch with his phone, and the plan is nowhere in sight. The notebook sits on the floor, untouched. He doesn't even want to look at it. So he does what most of us do. He blames himself and feels a little smaller. Then he scrolls and watches everyone else succeeding, wondering what they have that he doesn't. A few weeks later, he buys a new planner, and the whole cycle starts again. If this feels familiar, you're not broken. You're stuck in a loop almost everyone gets stuck in. But here's the real question. Why does starting feel so easy and continuing feel impossible? Most people answer that with one word: lazy. I'm just lazy. That's the problem. But that answer is wrong, and it's holding you back. So let's erase it right now. Because this was never a discipline problem. It's a design problem, and design can be fixed. Here's what's actually happening inside your head, and once you see it, you can't unsee it. Your brain has one quiet priority above almost everything else. Save energy. Always take the cheaper path. That's why starting feels like pushing a boulder. The first push takes almost all your effort. But notice something. The hard part isn't the workout. It's the 20 seconds before it. Because once the boulder is moving, it rolls. Suddenly the thing you dreaded feels totally fine. Scientists call that first push activation energy, the effort needed just to get something started. And here's the strange part. It doesn't take a big obstacle to stop you. Tiny ones work. A gym bag buried behind boxes. That's 20 extra seconds. And 20 seconds is enough to quit. A guitar zipped in a case under the bed. You'll play it someday, you never do. Meanwhile, the phone sits on your pillow, 0 seconds away, no effort required at all. So every day, your brain compares two options. The easy one is close, the good one is far. And the brain picks the closer one, almost every single time. It isn't personal, it's physics. That's why willpower fails. Willpower is a battery, and it drains fast. You can't build a life on it. Which brings us to something simple that changes everything. It's called the 20-second rule. Rule 1. Take anything you want to do more and make it 20 seconds easier to start. Rule 2. Take anything you want to do less and make it 20 seconds harder to reach. That's it. That's the whole idea. But watch how powerful it gets in real life. Want to run in the morning? Put your shoes right by the door tonight. Not in a cupboard. Want to drink more water? Fill the bottle and leave it on your desk before you need it. Want to read at night? Put the book on your pillow where the phone used to be. Want to play guitar? Take it out of the case and stand it in the middle of the room. Want to eat better? Put the fruit on the table, right where you'll see it first. Cook once, and future you opens the fridge and finds the healthy choice already waiting. Want to write? Leave the document open. So tomorrow, you don't start from a blank screen. Now flip it. Scrolling too much? Put the phone in a drawer, in another room. Log out of the apps. Typing a password is only 10 seconds. That's often enough to stop you. Watching too much TV? Take the batteries out of the remote and keep them in a drawer. Snacking too much? Move it to the highest shelf. If it's annoying to reach, you'll reach less. And turn off notifications. Every ping is an invitation your brain finds very hard to refuse. End quote. Do this, and something quietly amazing happens. The right choice becomes the easy choice. Good habits stop feeling like a fight. They start feeling like walking through an open door. And bad habits hit a small wall. Not impossible, just annoying enough to skip. So remember it like this. Make good things easier. Make bad things harder. That's the rule. Because here's a truth people learn far too late. Your environment beats your motivation. Every time. You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems. So stop treating your room as decoration. Start treating it as a tool that shapes your behavior. There's a second trick that pairs perfectly with this one. Shrink the start to 2 minutes. Don't promise yourself a workout. Just promise to put your shoes on. That's the whole commitment. Don't promise a whole chapter. Just open the book and read one single page. Don't promise a whole essay, just write one sentence. Even a bad one counts. And 9 times out of 10, once you start, you keep going. Momentum takes over. Because we get this backwards. We wait to feel motivated. But action creates the feeling. Every small win gives your brain a tiny reward, and your brain quietly wants that again. So track it. 1 tick in a box. It sounds silly. It works surprisingly well, because after a few days, you build a chain, and you really don't want to break it. This is the part most people miss. Consistency beats intensity. A slow drip still fills the glass. 1% better today feels like nothing, almost invisible. You barely notice the difference. But repeat that for a year, and the results become almost impossible to believe. And here's the deeper shift. Stop saying I want to read. Start saying I'm someone who reads. Because every action is a small vote for the person you're slowly becoming. 1 vote changes nothing. It's 1 token in an empty jar. It looks pointless. But hundreds of votes later, the jar is full, and you've become someone new. So ask yourself honestly, not what do I want, but who do I want to become? Somewhere ahead, there's a version of you built entirely from today's small decisions. And here's the thing about time. It passes either way. That part isn't optional. A year from now will arrive whether you start today or not. The clock doesn't wait, so don't worry about speed, worry about direction. Slow progress forward still beats standing still. Now let's be honest about what happens next. At some point, you're going to miss a day. And that's fine. Here's the only rule that matters. Never miss twice in a row. Because missing once is an accident. Missing twice starts a spiral that's genuinely hard to escape. So cut it early. 1 bad day means nothing unless you let it become a story. Some days you'll feel awful, tired, low, unmotivated. That's normal, and it isn't failure. On those days, don't quit. Just lower the bar until it's almost embarrassingly easy. 1 push-up, 1 page, 1 sentence. The point isn't results. It's keeping the chain alive. Because real progress never looks like a straight line. It zigzags, and that's completely normal. And there's a stage that breaks most people, the flat part. Where nothing seems to change, think of an ice cube. You heat the room from 20 degrees. Nothing happens. Nothing. Then at 32, it melts. The change was building the whole time. You just couldn't see it. Your habits work the same way. You water the seed daily and see bare soil. Until one day you look up and something real has grown, quietly, without announcing itself. So be patient with the boring middle. That's where almost everything important is actually built. So let's go back to our friend. This time, he doesn't buy a planner. He redesigns his room. The phone goes in a drawer, 20 seconds away. That's all it takes. The book goes on the pillow. Now the easy choice is the one he actually wanted. The shoes go by the door. Nothing dramatic. Just friction, quietly moved around. And the next morning, getting started doesn't feel like a battle. It just feels normal. It's day 1 again. But this time he isn't excited. He's just steady, and steady lasts. 30 days later, the chain is unbroken. Not because he tried harder, because it got easier. 90 days later, he looks in the mirror and sees someone genuinely different looking back. Same person, same brain, same willpower. He only changed the design around him. 1. And that's the whole secret. You don't need to become stronger. You need less strength. So here it is in 3 lines. Lower the friction, start small, and never miss twice. Now do one thing before this video ends. Pick one habit, just one, nothing more, and move something. 20 seconds closer or 20 seconds further. Do it in the next minute. Because change doesn't start with motivation. It starts with a decision that takes 20 seconds. Thanks for watching.